all the mortgage brokers out there are going to yell at me for this. Basically, anybody that's buying a house to live in can get 5% down. It's not like they say it's like this first-time home buyers thing, but anybody can do it.
You can get a rate in the low fours.
Right.
You will, regardless of that price, if you can afford that monthly rent, you're going to be paying down your mortgage and building up the equity.
We have a great healthcare system here. We have all sorts of trades. We're not a speculation. We're not, we don't have a big banking sector here that's going to drive up the prices or drive down the prices. We have a lot of people coming up from the GTA and surrounding areas, and they've all lost 30% on their homes. Our homes went up, 9% last year. Welcome to the T&T Real Estate Podcast, where we spark conversations that set you up for real estate success. I'm Tyler.
And I'm Tanya, and each week we bring you expert tips on navigating Northern Ontario's real estate market. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, we've got the tools to help you thrive.
Welcome back to the T&T Real Estate Podcast. I'm Tanya, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Tyler. Today, we are going to be talking specifically to people who are on the fence, renting currently and looking to buy, but maybe not quite ready to make that decision yet.
Right.
So we're going to talk about those people who are just keep saying, well, maybe next year or maybe next spring will be the right time. I totally understand. I mean, renting feels safe. It feels comfortable. It feels secure. There's not a lot of decisions to be made. But if you look at the numbers and calculate, certainly in our market in Greater Sudbury, the difference between renting and buying, I think you'd be a little bit surprised. So we're going to go into that today.
Yeah. And I think it's, I'm like on the fence, because I think people should buy when they're ready to buy, or maybe even a little bit before they feel ready to buy. But I don't I'm on the team that, I don't think everybody needs to own a home as soon as possible.
No.
So I think I think we kind of share that feeling or that sentiment, together. But
for
there's
those
lots.
who are like contemplating, those who are on the fence,
Right.
they keep saying maybe next year, or
They're getting close.
people have been looking for the last 2 years, but maybe haven't jumped yet
Right.
because they saw interest rates rise and now interest rates come stable. It's sort of those people who are just kind of at the point,
Is it
at
the time?
precipice of making the decision to jump.
Yep.
So before we get into that buying side, let's just set the table on what does renting mean? What does it cost here in Sudbury? Because I think people might not quite understand where our rent levels are at.
Right.
So let's go over kind of like what's your basic rent for, say, a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, etc.
Okay, so I'm going to read a little bit because there's a lot of numbers. 1 bedroom in Sudbury, and I think this is pretty fair. Kind of, I don't want to say coast to coast, but yeah, like anywhere from $1,300. You can get a 1-bedroom for $1,300, but that'll go up to $1,500 or $1,600 as well. And that's just for that's your basic 1-bedroom. Your 2-bedroom, you're looking anywhere from $1,700 to $2,000, even more, maybe $2,200 a month if it's like a really nice place. And then on top of that, you have to add most of the time it's plus hydro. Some places are charging for parking, not all places, but some of them are charging. So I mean, if you're looking like a pretty regular budget right now, whether it's a 1-bedroom that's included in these prices or a small 2-bedroom, you're looking at least $2,000 a month, and that's just for your apartment.
Yeah. So $2,000 a month is $24,000 a year.
Yep.
That has been paid. You've had a nice roof over your head. Hopefully you have a safe place to live that you're happy with, but that $24,000 hasn't gone anywhere. And it's gone to your landlord. It's gone to pay the bills. It's provided shelter, but there's a lot more that your money could be doing for you.
Okay, so now let's get into what buying a house could look like. So we know renting your basic apartment, you're looking at about $24,000 a year. Now, what does buying a house look like?
Okay, so I think these are the numbers that are really important to people, is to understand the Greater Sudbury market. And sometimes it can feel unachievable, but we're here to sort of break it down to show you that it is. So in our spring market data, we looked at the last about approximately 60 days. March 1st to today, there's 183 sales. The median price was $500,000. Yes, that's a high price, $500,000. But 75 of those 183 actually sold for 450 or less. And in the median of that bracket was 355. So 355,000 can get you into the market. It can get you a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom or more home. It's a really good entry level, price range, and it's certainly achievable here. A West End, for example, West End, the median price was 312, and then you're looking at other areas where it's more like 400, 450. But certainly, these are nice neighborhoods. They're long established neighborhoods with people living there who, take good care of their homes. And it's definitely achievable to get into a home for under 400. So let's run a little bit of mortgage math, Tyler. Let's say someone's buying a home for $380,000 in this market.
Okay, so if you're a first-time home buyer or you haven't bought a house in the last 5 years, I think it is, or owned a house in the last 5 years, you can buy a house with 5% down.
Yes.
Now, to expand that, all the mortgage brokers out there are going to yell at me for this, but I basically anybody that's buying a house to live in can get 5% down. It's not like they say it's like this first-time home buyers thing, but it's anybody can do it. So a $380,000 purchase, which is a decent budget for your starter home in Sudbury, you're looking at with 5% down. So you're looking at about $16,000 down. And then on top of that, you're going to have your CMHC fees, but that's all kind of built into the mortgage. It's not like an extra, down payment. Current rates, you're looking at, so what's a current rate right now? Like 4.2 is pretty typical.
Yeah. So another thing is, our fixed rates have gone up a little bit now with sort of the bond market. So let's say 4.25 to be. I think that's conservative.
Yeah. I've seen a couple clients get that. Yeah.
Yeah, under 5.
Yeah. Okay. So with 5% down at current rates, where you're looking at about $2,000 a month, and that hits exactly where your rental is as well. And so, the big difference on this, and I didn't understand this when I bought my first house 10-ish years ago, is this equity piece. I did not understand. Well, I knew about it. We were investing for a while. I knew about equity, but I didn't understand how it could change your life. And so your $24,000 renters, paying $24,000, you're getting a beautiful apartment, you're getting a parking spot. It's hunky dory. It's great. Now you're putting that same amount of money into a house that you're living in, and 5 years later, all that money potentially is still sitting there and added more, because that $380,000 house, even at a 5% appreciation every year, which is pretty typical, you're looking at, you're definitely in the 4s at that point, and high, like mid 4s. And so you've also, like, if you're making $75,000 a year at your job, that's a whole extra year worked just by owning your house. Like that's one thing that, like, especially like the people you see on TikTok, I'm never going to own a house. This is the reason you need to own a house, because it just compounds and compounds. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about another sort of thing that I find some of my home buyers are sitting on the fence is mortgage rates. They're like thinking, or mortgage rates are going to come down. Let's wait for things to stabilize with respect to the Strait of Hormuz and all that Iran stuff going on right now. Maybe rates are going to come down to 2%. Is that ever going to happen?
No, unless COVID comes back, and I don't want COVID to come back. So no. The older generation that you talk about, like the 89 and 90, 1989, 1990. Mortgage rates were close to 20%. I think it actually did pass 20%. Yep. And obviously house prices, and I know all the skeptics out there are going to be, oh yeah, but the house prices were $50,000. Yes, they were. But,
their salaries were like, what,
$20,000? So it's like, it kind of averages out, and it really is the backwards. It's backwards now, but it's just...
You got to bite the bullet on the interest rate. I think that it's tough to you can't predict the future, right? Like if we all had a crystal ball and knew that interest rates were going to go down to 2%, we all would have locked in at 2 and never gone variable, et cetera, et cetera. But right now things are pretty stable. So even with sort of the geopolitical tensions and things that are happening, you can get a rate if you want fixed and you want that sort of stability of knowing what your payments are going to be. You can get a rate in the low 4s.
Right.
Let's just estimate, let's say 4.5%, right? I think my first mortgage ever was like 4.1%. That was like a million eons ago. But you will, regardless of that price, if you can afford that monthly rent, you're going to be paying down your mortgage and building up the equity.
Right.
So, you know, and if you wait because you think that interest rates are going to come down, likely the prices of those homes are going to go up.
Yeah, I mean,
in the meantime. That's what we saw.
We're both sitting on these chairs where we're waiting for 2% interest rates. Everybody else is waiting for 2% interest rates. And 6 years ago, when COVID hit and we all thought the market was going to crash, they lowered the interest rates to 2%, and how many people bought houses? Yeah. So it's one of those things. If you're okay at a 5% interest rate, buy. If you wait to 2%, everybody else is going to be waiting as well. Everybody else is ready. At 2%, people can afford things. People can buy different houses. People can upgrade and downgrade and buy different cars. And everybody is ready to buy at 2%. Yeah. And you're going to have so much competition.
Yeah, exactly. It's not the time to wait until they go that low because it's just going to drive the prices way up. And maybe take it from me. I have a mortgage right now that's 6.something% until this December. I cannot wait to renew that. Right. But yeah, we locked in at like when it was like the highest rate possible. Thankfully, it's one of the smaller mortgages on our portfolio, so whatever, it's fine. And we can still afford those payments. I think that's very important. If you can afford the payments at 4.5% right now, you know, don't wait.
Yeah, and when they go to 2%, refinance.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, get your new rate.
So we did talk already about if interest rates go down, more buyers will enter the market, demand will increase, and that'll tighten the supply that's already pretty tight. Right now, currently, we only have 29 active listings that are under $450 on the market, but that's also because our spring is kind of delayed, our spring market, and hopefully there'll be some more properties on the market that are in that price range. And the rate drop won't necessarily, if there is one, wouldn't necessarily benefit you because those prices will increase when more people come to the market to buy.
Right.
Okay, so what is the actual cost of waiting?
Okay, so if we take down that same payment, whether it's a rent payment or your mortgage payment, let's take it for a two-year outlook. And so $2,000 on rent, $48,000 out the door in 2 years. With nothing to show for it besides obviously a safe place to live, hopefully. Now, if you take that same $2,000 and put it into the mortgage, same $48,000 goes out over 2 years, but then you have to take into the consideration, lots of people say the mortgage is the savings plan, so you can actually potentially access that money after your down payment. And the appreciation thing that we kind of, talked about it as well. And also, if you ever needed to access that $48,000, we kind of alluded to it on the last little segment, is, a refinance. So instead of just giving it to somebody else and they keep it in their pocket while giving you the rent, it's kind of locked into your mortgage. The more you pay down that mortgage, the more access to funds you have. So if a big life event happened or, something serious happened that you needed to access money, there's ways to do that. Mm-hmm.
Or even sell your home to do that if you needed to. But, we did start off the segment also saying that buying isn't necessarily for everybody. So if you are looking at a job change or a move in the next 18 to 24 months, buying is not the best option for you. There's always fees in buying and selling, unless you're going to buy something and keep it as an investment down the road. That's one thing. But if you don't have that stability and knowing that you're going to be in a specific place for, a number of years, maybe now is not the right time to buy. But if you're financially you're ready and you're just kind of scared or nervous or hoping that something's going to change with respect to prices and interest rates and you're waiting for a sign, This is a sign. There's no other sign than this.
This is your sign.
Yes. Do the math. And if it works for you, then go for it.
Yeah. And it makes sense. Like Sudbury specifically is a very, it's not backed by speculation. It's backed by, real people with, jobs that, they're not going away. We have a great healthcare system here. We have a great blue collar, we got all sorts of trades. We're not a speculation. We're not, we don't have a big banking sector here that's going to drive up the prices or drive down the prices. We have a lot of people coming up from the GTA and surrounding areas, and they've all lost 30% on their homes. Our homes went up, 9% last year. And so taking COVID out of account, or those years out of account, we're not going to get 30% appreciation every single year, but we're also not going to hit those 30% decreases every single year, in the different cycles. So it's a very confident place. You park your money here. It's very confident. And it's not just kind of what I was saying before. It's not a speculation place. And
some of the data really reaffirms what you were just saying there, Tyler. The median price being $500,000 just this spring. I mean, that's pretty solid. It's not a huge upswing or downswing. It's pretty average for our market. And our median days on market, 14 days on market, so 2 weeks.
Right.
That means houses are actually moving. And 90 out of 183 sales went above asking. So it's an active market. And things are moving. People do see the confidence in purchasing and investing in Sudbury.
Right.
Also, the sale to list price ratio was 101 over the last 60 days. So that means there's healthy competition, but also it's not quite the frenzy of 103 or 106%.
Yeah. It's a good market. I mean, if you're buying or selling right now, it's kind of, everybody always says, oh, it's a realtor, it's always a good time to buy. But right now, I mean, for sellers, if you've held your asset for 5 years, you're making money. If you're getting into the market, there's not many places left in Ontario or Canada wide probably that you can buy a mid-level house for $500,000.
Yeah.
So
and you can get into the market even under 4,
right,
which is very encouraging for first-time home buyers. You don't have to be cash poor at the end of the day.
Right.
Okay, so let's move into my favorite part, rapid fire.
Right.
Okay.
Let's do it. Me first?
Yeah, I think you're first here on the list.
I'm going to wait until rates come down.
Oh my God, you're going to be rating forever. Just like...
yeah, especially at 4%.
Yeah. Okay. I don't have a big enough down payment.
I mean, there's ways to skirt this, but 5%. I mean, if you can't save the 5%, it's going to be difficult to get in. But it's.
Don't take that vacation.
I was going to say the one vacation, and you're probably half of the way there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into don't buy your Starbucks and stuff. I think you should still enjoy.
Maybe just cut down.
Maybe it's not twice a day. Maybe it's once a day or a couple times a week, I want to see what the market does.
Don't we all want to see what the market does? But you're going to miss the market if you wait and just watch. How long have you been waiting?
Right.
How long have you been waiting? Yeah. Okay. How about renting gives me flexibility?
So this goes, at the beginning of this episode, I was like, I'm kind of like midline. I think renters should move into buyers when they're ready. This is like, it does give you flexibility 100%, but like how much flexibility do you want / need in your life? If you're a traveling nurse, absolutely. You shouldn't buy in Sudbury, Ontario. Maybe you should buy, maybe you shouldn't buy, maybe you should just buy investments. But if you know that this is the place that you're going to raise a family or live, this first house doesn't have to be your last house. You need to get in, you need to build equity, and then you could sell it when you're ready to sell it, when you're ready to move into a bigger house or a different location, sell it and buy another one. And you'll have that nest egg already built. The down payment for the next one that took you so long to save for your first one is already waiting for you.
Yep.
But Tanya, I think the market might crash.
You think the market might. That's what evidence.
ChatGPT said.
Yeah, there's no evidence to support the market crashing. We have a very solid base here, a solid economy, diversity, not just mining. It's not just a mining town. There's healthcare. There's so much going on. There's so many jobs. There's so much development.
Yeah.
Show me the signs.
Show me the signs.
Show me the signs. The market is crashing. Okay. Right. How about I'll save more money if I keep renting?
You will save in your bank account more money if you keep renting, but you will not be able to build equity or appreciation on that money. Good one. Unless you put it in Bitcoin, just let it
fall.
Yeah. No, we should do not do that. Okay, so if you're a renter in Sudbury who's been on the sideline thinking about potentially making a purchase, I hope this has kind of ignited the conversation in your mind to really get off the fence. I think it's a good time to buy, and if you're working with a professional full-time realtor, I think that process would be a much, much easier process.
Yeah. If you want to talk about through the market, the nuances, or your specific situation, reach out, DM us, leave us a comment below. We're always happy to engage in that conversation with you.
And until next time, stay ahead in real estate.